Today we are here at Volkswagen looking at this 2019 Arteon. So this is the 2019 Volkswagen Arteon. A few really cool standard features with the car are the LED adjustable headlights. These actually, when you turn it on, it does a cool little dance, and then they turn as you turn the wheel. A few things that I really love about just the styling of this Arteon is these LEDs run straight into the grille and make everything look really clean and well put together. With the R-Line package, you get a couple little things. It's hard to see with the black trim, but this little thing is an extra little bit to give it a little bit more aggressive styling. These 20-inch wheels are optional, and I think they're the only option that are a must. They really set this car apart with these 20-inch wheels. A couple other cool things about this car, the taillights are LED as well, and those are standard with the Arteon. This little spoiler, which I think looks excellent, comes with the R-Line package. And the cool thing about this being a four-door coupe, which I don't like saying, but the cool thing about this being a four-door coupe is it's actually a hatchback. So you have a ton of room back here. It makes the storage in this vehicle a lot more than your typical sedan. When those seats fold down, it's amazing how much room that you have. I'm also wondering if Eli can fit in the back with the seats folded down. So now that we know that it's practical, you have plenty of room in the trunk space. This car is a little quirky too. It's got a smiley face right here. You have the two screws, it looks like a nose, and they just put this plastic line in here that really I don't think is necessary, but it adds a nice little quirk to the car. The engine that we get in America is the only option that we have is the 2.0 liter turbocharged engine, making 268 horsepower and 258 foot-pounds of torque, and that's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. How do those numbers fare at getting this four-door coupe moving? It's not bad. It's not bad. That little 2.0 liter turbocharged engine does just fine. I would kind of want for a little more horsepower, especially with the all-wheel drive model. This one's just the front-wheel drive, so I imagine it being a little bit lighter. The acceleration feels probably a little bit better than it would with the all-wheel drive. But that being said, the 268 horsepower, 258 foot-pounds of torque is fine. It's good. I think I hope they come out with maybe an R version or something that has a little bit more power, but for right now, it's fine. The interior in this car, when you get in, gives such a good first impression. This 8-inch touchscreen is very clean, very classy. Again, Volkswagen hasn't fallen victim to that trap of putting the touchscreen in the dash like an iPad sitting right here. I'm so happy they haven't done that. It's little things like this HomeLink rear view mirror that's frameless. It just gives it a little bit more of a classy look, which is kind of strange that something that simple just adds a touch of elegance to the inside of this car. There are a few things that are kind of weird that I wish they would have avoided. Is all these empty buttons down here. I got two, one for the auto start stop system. You can turn that on and off. I typically like to shut that off. I'm not a big fan of the auto engine shutting off when I come to a stop. Kind of annoys me. It's not a big deal. Then you have your driver mode buttons right here. Eco, Comfort, Normal, Sport, and Custom. So the transmission's losing its mind right now. So we're gonna go to Comfort for right now. But when you get the SEL Premium R line, or even just the SEL Premium, you get a heated steering wheel button that goes right here, and then you get the 360 camera, and that camera button is right here, and then you get parallel park assist and lane assist. That parallel park assist button is right here. So I find it odd that the only other button you would fill with the SEL Premium is this button right here, and then these other 5 would be empty. Why don't we put the hazards, this passenger airbag light down here somewhere, and these 2 buttons down here as well? It just seems like it's a weird flow. I don't. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think it could have been executed just a little bit better. Another, to me, strange thing that car companies do is an analog clock here in the dash. It's supposed to make you feel like the car is a little more expensive, a little more classy, but I just think that's kind of a thing of the past now. I mean, I got my clock right there that I can read. I have another clock right there that I can read. That's just simply a show that we don't really need anymore. But some people like that. Moving on. Neat little thing that the touchscreen does. I don't know if you've noticed it as I've been doing this. I have no idea how it does it, but it's like, whoop, there's the buttons. They pop up. And then when you take your hand away, it goes away. It's just, I love Volkswagen for those little neat, just minor touches that add to how a vehicle feels. This one has the paddle shifters. The different driving modes are nice. The digital cockpit or digital dash, however you want to say it, is very nice. I've said that pretty much in all the vehicles I've driven with it. I love it. I think that's the way of the future, in my opinion, for cars going forward. I think that's where your navigation should be. Instead of having to deviate to look down over here, it's pretty much right in front of you. This is also equipped with Apple CarPlay, so you can use that with your phone or your Androids as well. Whatever device you have can link to this, as far as I know. The Arteon is replacing the CC that was discontinued back in 2017. One of the big things that I didn't like about the CC was the fact that the rear seat only had 2 seats, so it was essentially a 4-seater car. With this, now you have 3 seats in the back, and I'm happy to report that they are comfortable enough to seat adults just fine. As far as driving goes, this car drives so smoothly and confidently. The suspension is tight yet comfortable. It has a confident feel when you're driving down curvy roads, and using the paddle shifters, being in sport mode, it actually makes the car pretty fun to drive, and it handles everything confidently. There is just a slight bit of body roll, but let's be honest, this isn't an M3, it's a Volkswagen luxury sedan. But yet, it has a tight enough feel to give you confidence in the corners. This particular model is equipped with adaptive cruise control. And in stop and go traffic, it works really well. And one thing that's really nice about it is, say traffic has slowed you down and you switch lanes and the car starts to accelerate to the speed that you had it set to originally, it does it very gently. It's very, very smooth, very soft acceleration that if you're in a rush, you're like, what's taking so long? But if you want a nice, smooth ride, it's perfect for that. It does that so smoothly. It's almost surprising at how smooth it can accelerate like that. So overall, I mean, I really, really like this car. It drives great, looks fantastic. The 20-inch wheels on this thing just make the car look really, really good. The R-Line package, I think, is the way to go with this car. Again, it gives it a little bit more of an aggressive look, which I personally love. But this thing just, in a world where SUVs are taking over, I love this car. I love that Volkswagen has decided to go ahead and make a sedan, or a four-door coupe, if you will. I love it. I love this car. I love everything about it. I just wish it had a little more horsepower, like they had an optional higher horsepower engine, like a V6 or something, because for America, it only comes in the 2.0 turbo engine. And the 8-speed transmission does just fine. It shifts smoothly. It drives well. I mean, there's no real valid complaints about this car. They're all just little weird things that are fine. You can get used to them, like the weird use of the buttons that they've done and the clock. Big deal. A little more horsepower, if you really want to change that, you can, especially at Vorderman Volkswagen. They are a certified APR dealer. Thank you to Vorderman Volkswagen for allowing me to do this video, for allowing me to review this car. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. We're on the way to 5,000 subscribers. Help us get there. Please check out our podcast, and it's the Carguments podcast. Check us out on the Auto Show on Roku or any Amazon streaming device. Also check us out on Instagram at Carguments. Get involved with the podcast there. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I hope you all have an awesome day. First time I've ever done one of these tests, because this is going to be a Carguments car tip for you. Grande drink from Starbucks. Car suspension is smooth enough to drink while driving. Cup holders work. You don't need to shut it. Just get in. All right, we'll try.